What's cracking, everybody? Welcome into another awesome episode of the Sick Podcast, Steelers Crazy. I'm Mike Nicastro. Follow me on Twitter at Miked Up Sports One. That's at Jordan York Music. And our NFL Draft Series continues today. We are so excited. We have a great guest for you guys coming on, a run stuffer, a guy the Steelers could certainly use. If you've missed any previous draft series episodes, go back, subscribe. Sick Podcast, Steelers Crazy. You have to follow this. The NFL draft's coming up, Jordan. It's like Christmas Eve already in March, man.
Yeah, I'm still reminiscing about our time at the NFL Combine, man. It was just such a cool experience. But what's even cooler is that we get to talk to these young men before they become NFL football players. So I say we get to it. What do you say?
Let's rock and roll. Steelers Crazy.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Steelers Crazy.
Harris Smith shields. Flacco Polamalu takes it home. Super Bowl 43. Pittsburgh might be bound for that thanks to number 43.
The sickest Pittsburgh Steelers podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
All right, joining us today, one of the best players from the Sun Belt Conference. Anytime we can shout out the Sun Belt, come on, man, you gotta love that conference. This guy's an absolute beast, and we're excited to talk about his journey to the National Football League. It's none other than Gerard Clark, my guy. What's going on?
What's up, man? How y'all guys doing?
Good.
Good. We appreciate you joining us. We're excited to, of course, continue to follow your journey. We've already followed the Combine, and we've already followed, of course, the Senior Bowl, East-West Shrine Bowl. So let's talk a little bit first about how you got here, man. You got an interesting journey. You know, of course, we do our homework on everybody, but you're somebody that we've been following for a while now. You come into college and you're a tight end. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so I came into college. I was recruited pretty much from my junior year, senior year as a tight end. I got to school, couldn't really learn the playbook. I came from a high school where our playbook was a packet. Like you just learn the packet, study plays like that. I come to college, we got hand signals, we got signs, and I feel like I was a step behind, so I had a red shirt my freshman year, and then, red shirt, and coming from a school where you're the man, who everybody looked to, I came, I was a little bit humbled, and I kind of lost my confidence and really lost my motivation and drive to, stick with football and, do everything necessary, to be prepared and stuff like that. So I kind of got, very lazy on a mental aspect.
Yeah, listen, you were really open and transparent about it. And I know a lot of people, not just players, appreciate that because we've talked about it before on this show with others. I know we had a former Steelers Super Bowl champion, Mike Logan, on recently and talking about mental health. A lot of people look at you guys and they see this guy who has always been popular, a guy that's a beast who gets the privilege of playing football at a high-level college school. But a lot of people forget that we're people, right, Jerrod? And at the end of the day, you really went through some challenges that you were open about and persevered. It's a story of perseverance, no question.
Definitely. And it's also, it's kind of like I tell my story. So like people who are afraid to tell their story or who aren't just ready to open up just yet, you kind of got to change your own narrative. People are going to control the narrative they have about you. But if you can create, jump in front of it and create their own narrative for yourself, then you can really make people feel dumb about themselves. Because, I just sat there, I listened to commentators, just make so many jokes about, my weight gain and stuff like that. It don't bother me. But like, don't speak on athletes, mental health if you don't really care. If you're gonna make a joke about, a guy going through certain stuff, like, because my weight gain wasn't just like some stuff that happened overnight. Like it was a sequence of events, that trickled down to just years and months on end of just stuff that was affecting me. But announcers, they just read the chart. They just and this year he was this and this year he was that. So let's make a little joke, make everybody laugh. And I know it was frustrating for like my parents because my parents are like, why are they sitting there, disrespecting my kid like that? And I had to tell them like, man, that's just gonna come. Like that's just, that's the world I'm stepping into where you're gonna have to just shrug your shoulders and be okay with people saying whatever they want about you. Because at the end of the day, I got to be the one to go out there and put in the work and do X, Y, and Z.
That's why we really enjoy having you guys on, is you do get to control the narrative here on the Sick Podcast. Steelers crazy, man. All right, we'll get into some of the later part of your career now. You go from tight end to O-line and then, of course, to D-line. And you're a beast, man. Come on now. Last season, of course, third team all Sun Belt out there. You get the invite to the Senior Bowl. You're the co-captain on defense. You know, I was watching some tape on you. You're shutting the run game down. You're even sacking the quarterback at that size. Come on, man. Tell me about just how good all that felt, all that hard work combined into to what paid off.
It definitely wasn't like something that came overnight. Like it was a struggle kind of just adjusting to D line, because I'm trying to go based off of like, what you learn in high school, what you learn in Pop One, or you kind of just try to carry it out to college, and you don't realize like there's so many mechanics and there's so much technique that goes into playing defensive line, and if your technique is poor, it don't matter if the man is smaller than you, overtake you, and it was just like learning the technique and being coachable, like being able to be coachable, and adapting to the guys around me. Like there was so many seniors who was there ahead of me, just trying to learn from them and also learn from the coach, just being a sponge when it comes to that position, just being like wanting to be better, wanting to adapt your game, and just add little pieces that you see from one guy to your game, just see if it works, and if it don't work, scratch it, but at least try it, give it a chance. Really, it was just seeing that I could do it, though.
Yeah.
Making that position change, and then seeing that I could do it. It was more so like that. Like, okay, I can see I could do this a little bit. Let me add a little more effort. Let me have a little more want to this position. Let me see how this really turns out. And I think that's what really kind of sparked my drive. Was seeing for myself what I could be, and then also just believing in myself, because I had coaches and family that believed in me. So it's time to believe in myself too.
Yeah, definitely. That's all good stuff to hear, man. I'm a guy of perseverance over here as well, and just you got to put in the work, and so I can really relate to that. But talk about the Senior Bowl experience. Obviously, you kind of shed light on it, but just talk about the overall experience, because I think it's such a cool event. And were you able to network with the Steelers when you were there as well? Mike Tomlin, any of them guys?
Yeah, so I got to meet with Mike Tomlin once, during the formal meetings, and then just passing them, just walking by, just introducing myself, and then once again I practiced. We was doing one-on-one reps, and I had asked him like what he want me to do different, and he was just saying like don't be hesitant, be dominant. Just all he wants to see is me dominate. Stop thinking, and then just play the game of football. And also he had other staff on the team too that was working with the D line. They had one of the quarters coach was the DC for the national team. So I got to be around some of his staff too, as far as the Steelers program. So it was pretty cool. I feel like I got to learn from them a lot, just from a professional level too. Yeah. Just what they expect, if you're in their room, what they expect from you, and I think it was like a small glimpse of like what like a little bit of like what it'd be like to be on an NFL team. Is like they're not pushing as hard as they would be on an NFL team, but like they're trying to like give you a little glimpse, like, all right, we're gonna let this slide now, but in the league, like you might get one done, you might get one opportunity, and you'd be like, okay, this is it.
Yeah, definitely. So let's shift to the NFL Combine. How was that experience? I was actually there. I wish I would have ran into you, but I didn't want to bother you. I know you were in go mode. Just were you happy with the results?
Overall, I think I had a good day. I wish my 40 times a little better. My technique was a little poor. Just going back talking with my trainer and stuff. But I feel like I made up for it within the position drills. Like I completely zoned out. Like once I realized, okay, I got to pick it up. I got to do something to really just make myself feel better. Not even just the scouts, make myself feel better, because I was a little down to the 40, and it was just like, all right, I got one rep of all these drills, 120% on every drill. And if they make you start over, then 125 the next one. But that was just my goal, just give it my all for that one rep. For those 7 seconds I got of a rep, I just got to go out for all 7 seconds.
Definitely.
Did you have your pro day yesterday?
Yes, sir.
How'd that go?
It was really good. It was pretty cold out there.
Really? Where you at? You're in Coastal?
Yep.
And it was, man, I didn't even know that. Well, listen, I can't talk. I'm in Florida. Jordan's in Pittsburgh. So you got the halfway.
It's snowed here, so.
You got the halfway in between. It makes sense. I'm looking at that blue sky behind you, and I'm like not even thinking, but then you're in the hoodie.
Yesterday, it was it had rained the night before. So like the field was like slippery and wet, and then it was just chilly outside. It was probably like 40 something, 50 something degrees out, but it was like a strong wind. But I mean, I got up there, supported my guys, who were going through a pro day with me. And then when it came to, doing position work, that's when I was just locked in. I was keyed in on attacking those drills. I think it was like 6 or 7 drills that we had. And I think it was like you have 1 rep each side. So it was just like, all right, now I got to dominate for 14, 15 total reps.
Good stuff. As you probably know by now, we're one of the biggest Pittsburgh Steelers podcasts out there. So that means we're kind of Steelers specific. So listen, man, obviously you're somebody that I'm sure has been a fan of the NFL for a while and watched some players growing up. What's the kind of vibe? What do you know about the Steelers franchise? What kind of, how interested would you be in playing for a team like that? And, just talk about kind of who you rooted for growing up.
I mean, growing up, so my team was a rival with the Steelers. I grew up
Ravens?
a Patriots fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all good here. Whoever you get drafted by, it doesn't matter. You're a fan of that team.
The Patriots battle with the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger versus Tom Brady. And, when Troy Polamalu was out there too, and Ryan Clark. Just seeing those guys, and Le'Veon Bell. I'm like, so I got to see like all those games. I used to watch all those games on TV, in my area. But I feel like the Steelers are just one of those dynasties that was just, if they had one more piece, they had way more championships, or there was like one play away from winning multiple championships. Yeah. And I feel like that was like my big reason why I like the Ravens, Patriots, and Steelers like growing up, and also the Bucks. I always been like a fan off and on for the Bucks.
Yeah, well, I
don't like the Giants though.
No, Giants.
We'll delete that clip if you get. We'll delete it if you get drafted. We'll delete that clip. I promise. We got you.
Hey, we would love to have you in black and gold, but no matter where you go, we'll follow your career and we appreciate it. But before we get you out of here, we always like to ask like non-football. So just tell us something that the fans and our viewers might not know about yourself. That's unique. It could be anything. What's your favorite food? It could be where you like to go, your favorite place, whatever.
Well, for one, I got a daughter on the way that she be coming.
Congratulations.
I'm a big tattoo guy. Like I love getting tattoos. I don't know, for some reason I like the thrill of sitting through a tattoo and it seeing like the final, like the finished product once it's all done. And kind of having like your ideas come to life and come on, be on your body and stuff like that. That's the one thing like me and my family bonded over. Just growing up watching my dad host like tattoo parties when all my uncles, aunts, and family friends would come over and get tattooed at our house. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want tattoos when I grow up. Now I'm covered in them.
Those defensive tackles love pain. They just love pain. They love pain.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it is. Like when you sitting there and you got your headphones on, you got your music, and then you just sitting there just getting your tattoo done. I mean, I zone out every time. I zone out, listen to music, and I'll be like, next thing you know, you're done.
So you guys are nuts. I almost cried getting mine.
Yeah, I went with you. I remember. So
a bunch of them.
So I guess we could say if the Steelers draft you, you'll be getting the Steelers logo, right?
Ooh. It depends on how long I'm at the Steelers, Hey, realistic.
Tattoo removal now.
Steeler always get removed now. Man.
Hey, I don't want to brand myself, and they don't like me.
No, I think that everyone in Pittsburgh would be happy to have you here, and no matter where you go, I know you're going to be a success. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, Gerard.
Appreciate you guys.
Take care, man. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Keep in touch, man.
Yeah. Again, just a really down to earth. His journey, like you said, when we do our research, it's just really cool to, just see what everyone just sees, what goes on the field. But at the end of the day, just like when we had Mike Logan on, Super Bowl champ, really opened up about mental health. And I think it's important, just in sports in general. I mean, they're put on a pedestal, and to really just open up and be transparent with it. I think that's just awesome.
What made me, not that I didn't previously, but something that stuck out, I should say, that told me this guy is motivated AF is when he was not happy with his 40 time. The guy's a defensive lineman. He's a nose tackle in the middle of the defense. But our dude, Jerrod,
he might be like Otana
with my 40 time. Man, you know what? I tell you what, put him back at tight end. Maybe he'd be upset. that 40 time. But this is
Yeah.
a guy who's not going to be he's not going to be running 40 yards, hopefully, on any plays, shutting running backs down in the backfield or, after 2-yard gains. Hopefully, if he's running 40 yards, it's not a good thing. But that comment stuck out to me for sure. He's motivated,
and he said,
man.
yeah, and he said he was doing it for himself. Like he wasn't like it was just, that's obviously not what they're looking for at his position, but he wanted to do it for himself. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just crazy, man. The NFL draft is such an exciting time. And the Steelers are already, we're going to be doing our free agency episode and talk about that and just have a ton of
many
Steelers
free agent
stars.
episodes. You probably already listened to one. We're going to have another one and then get to the draft. You always say it. It never, ever ends around here in Steelers Nation, Steelers worldwide. I almost said Steelers country, but you always correct me.
It doesn't matter. Steeler Nation, Steeler country. It's just the best sports franchise in the world.
And it's the best podcast in the world. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Sick Podcast. Steelers crazy. Sammy and Nello, Jordan. I'm out. We'll talk to you next time.
Here we go.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.